Okay, we're back with more Miles Edgeworth 2. I know this game has an official localization now, but since I'm already 13 hours into the fan translation, I'll just continue with this one. If folks want to comment on differences between this translation and the official one, I'd be interested to hear that kind of thing. I might have to click more because I think my controller is not working great for me now. See if the audio balance is right once music comes in. We're still playing as Gregory Edgeworth. Master Chef. Why do you look so poor? It's gonna be a tad quiet. I'll turn it up a bit here. Karma sucks. It is interesting to play from a time when defense attorneys actually aren't allowed to win. Failure is allowed to happen in the past. About yesterday's investigation. Do we have anything that can give his spirit and his glucose a boost? Chocolates? Okay. Let's talk to him first. Yes, we do. Okay. Chocolates. Chocolates. Are you giving them to me? It's against the rules to give anything to you. I see. I'll inspect the chocolates, and if there are no problems, I'll think about it. Nice. It's okay, Bad. You'll be fine. I'm sorry for asking you to do something so dangerous. Oh, like in Japan, someone needs sugar because they're diabetic. You can't provide it to them legally. Apparently the start button works with my controller, but not the A button. That's weird. What the fuck? Melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Sweet chocolates. Melting in my mouth, so sweet, so divine. Okay. Is food here that bad? Salt beef and stew. Okay, so they call attention to the fact that he has taste problems. He says he had COVID. Isaac Dover was a sculptor who worked in France. This guy was concealing that he was a sculptor. How could that be? Zodiac sculptures. They'll remain forever unfinished. Hundreds of thousands per sculpture. I think this has been my favorite part of this game so far, flashing back to Gregory Edgeworth. That's neat that they're willing to do that. It's like the case in Phoenix, right, where you briefly play as Edgeworth. Probably like these games a lot if they were, like, substantially shorter. Kate's pretty suspicious. She's still around in Miles's time. Alright, tell me now about the contestants. I think she's the one who, like, looks like she's made out of cream. She's probably gonna have a breakdown. She's the pharmacist. Mr. Gustavia's and Mr. Dover's desserts had the exact same taste. I wonder if he has a taste issue in general. myself to a piece of his edible lyre. Did you say the lyre was delicious? Tell me about the delicious lyre. I ate all the strings, okay. So salty she couldn't eat it. Okay, but they get like salted beef stew. Might be a problem, my sense of taste. Who's the ability to taste salt? Resolve that quickly. For later when you return to the mansion, okay. What's that? Bye, Kate. Nani? Please don't say things like that. I can't live without you. Master Jeff, Kate was crying. Why did you say something so cruel? Don't open your mouth so wide, dude. Still don't trust her, but... that feeling, I also know it well. Okay, so the main reveal of this is that he can't taste salt. And he's a nice guy. Don't confess. No, we know he doesn't though, which is sad. It is kind of cool to be playing a doomed case, though. Just remembering, I might actually end up needing the controller, so if I'm still having problems with it, I'll come up with a solution. Try plugging in a different one. Nani? Bad's ellipses, drive me insane. I know they're just trying to like give him a, you know, a unique speaking cadence, but I always read it like a boomer ending every text message with an ellipsis. You have my thanks. Checked everything except the fountain. Oh, I can click to move. Okay, that's interesting. I'll just do that then. Sure thing, Mr. Edgeworth. I asked you to note, not to dote. It's fine, Ray. I'm a little worried about your future. Fence Rangers are heroes of justice who help those in need. Detectives also defend people. Not so much. And how he eventually becomes a cop instead. Okay, I actually am gonna see if I can get my controller to work, so it's gonna take me just a quick second here. I can maybe get the cursor off the screen most of the time would be nice. Okay, one sec. Pause the recording. Okay, I fixed it. You want to run around with the cursor there, that would be annoying. Apologize for my disgraceful behavior earlier. Okay. Isaac Dover, delicious scones. And Gustavia. It's because one of them was salty. Sun was missing. Thank you. Recipe book that contains a special drug for curing taste disorders. It's the prize for the contest? What the fuck? What a weird... Okay. Whatever. What? Be really interested to, like, be a fly on the wall as they figure out how to structure these games. Obviously, that's going to have to come up as, like, a puzzle solution later. It's a recipe book for new drugs that haven't been released to the public yet. Okay. Alright. They're saying it's valuable because they could sell it to a pharmaceutical company. Yeah, why is something like that at the contest? Only heir to the chairman of the master group. Okay, we do know one of the characters is a pharmacist. That's delicious scone. Cold Killer X. The master group. When his parents died, the recipe book was left to him as his inheritance. That creates a pretty big motive for delicious scones. I love how much of the Ace Attorney games are dependent on extremely basic facts about the characters being withheld for as long as possible. Hey Jimmy Dean, I'm doing alright, hope you're alright. You knew Delicious' true identity from the start? Why did you help her? This is such an odd... I had a note in my text file that the stuff with Gregory makes way more sense than the stuff with Miles right now in this case, but this is very, very strange. I have a feeling they start from something that broadly makes sense as their like core idea, and then they like need to fit puzzles into that. Some of Kate's tea too. Angel said she was eating chocolate fondue. Very well made. Defense attorneys. What are you investigating? Testing the water for foreign matter. Chocolate and sherbet. Okay. Sure. I guess I shouldn't blame Ace Attorney for being dependent on, like, impossibly high-quality forensic work. It's been really alarming to realize how much of the forensics field is like total pseudoscience. Bloodstain that should have remained at the crime scene has disappeared. The person who's dead. Blood on the fountain is Dover's. All right. This is the guy who, like, sucked really bad. He's from Jungfa. He sucks at making confectionaries, but he gets good at it. Future. I love the Von Karma voice they did. Pastry chef bad at design and a sculptor skilled only at designing. They must have worked together. Assume it's delicious. I don't allow you to speak with Mr. Gustavia. On Karma. Now Von Karma's, like, corruption is completely impossible to defeat. Alright. Gustavia and Dover's relationship. Obvious, the only relationship they had is that they happened to participate in the same contest. That's bullshit, sir. Right? So I don't know that I have evidence to prove it, but I'll go through and... That's it? That's funny. Okay. Rebuttal. Hold it. What? It's like the Futurama episode. Please rise for the Honorable Judge 34, and they immediately shoot the judge. Please rise for the Honorable Judge 35. I'm willing to tolerate any amount of intimidation. Hold it. How many times must I tell you? Okay, present. Not gonna get any out of pressing. Yeah, we literally just learned this. Okay. Contest rules, crime scene notes. Oh, the desserts themselves, right?
Objection!
Okay, looks like that was correct. Yet, for the semifinals, he's able to produce something comparable to Mr. Dover's. These two desserts have the same flavor. So, my speculation is that Master says they have the same flavor, but he's incorrect because of his salt problem, and it was actually someone else who did the collaborating. That's an issue. If you get ahead of the logic in Ace Attorney games, you can get in trouble, so you can have to follow where the characters are stuck on something. The very existence of these two desserts points to a link between Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. Okay. Oh, Gustavia and Dover's connection so badly, I'll tell you. Yeah, because he sucks.
Objection!
All right. You knew about their real connection all along. Why'd you hide it from us? Rude. Not helpful yet. Interrogated by Von Karma? Sounds scary. I'm trying to meditate. Okay. What was their mutual goal? Why cooperate? Obtain the title of Iron Chef. Okay, so I probably have to present on whatever he's about to say. Nadia had poor design sense, and Dover was a novice at baking. I just did that one. For the finals, they were on their own. That's something that's contradictable, but I don't know by what. Should review all the evidence. It's been a while. That's not helpful. Crime scene notes. Teapot. Rock salt lamp. I don't think that has anything to do with this, yeah. The liar was salty, okay. I think that makes sense, right?
Objection.
Alright, looks like I didn't get screwed. That's strange.
Objection.
Delicious scones. Subjective opinion can't be submitted as evidence. There's still a chance a novice chef could make something tasty. Don't know if I'd want to be married to Von Karma. What's that? Nobody else questioned that? How happy Raymond was. Well, we already have the they weren't desserts. That's what Delicia did, so I doubt it's the same thing. Well, it could be that. This one also makes sense. This one is inconsistent. You guys have... So, I want to pick this because I think they're going to take us to Delicia. Let me go ahead and pick it and just have it be wrong. Okay, because she didn't eat it. I bet he takes the damage in his own mind, rather than, like, presenting it. Nani? Dover and Gustavia's collaboration lasted only until the day before the finals. But...
Objection.
The views of the dead are of no concern to me.
Objection! Objection!
Show us evidence that gives us a reason to suspect Gustavia. You wouldn't want to prolong the trial with unnecessary information, would be. Von Karma turns and looks at the camera. Steal the photo. Everyone acting like they take damage. Curse that Von Karma. No autopsy report. I got what we're going for. I like the logic concept. I think it's really funny that like Miles Edgeworth and his dad are the only people on the earth who have the superpower of basic logic. But I think it's better when it's there's actually a little bit of a stretch, right? When it's not just like patently obvious. Outside of the tutorial mission. Okay, so yeah. Blood in the fountain. It's really funny the way that, like, in order to force gameplay, sometimes the forensics are like, oh yeah, we know that that chocolate matches the chocolate in the other room, like, instantly. And sometimes like, oh, the autopsy report's delayed. Right. I think this series has a really interesting relationship to the actual evidence. Karma doesn't have the information to begin with. Many dark rumors surrounding Von Karma. Forges evidence, fabricates testimonies, and makes backroom deals. Hold it.
Objection!
My objection is with you.
Objection!
Oh, he's sweating. Hide the fact you never found the body.
Objection!
Does it? Maybe it does in Japan.
Objection! Objection!
In court, everything must be said with evidence. Yeah, it's in the fountain. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes they're smart with it. Sometimes it's like, yeah, that's like that's what you've just been saying, that the body was moved, right? Like, why is this a puzzle? My working theory for why Phoenix Wright and these games don't really work for me is that Capcom like sets themselves as a target either a length for the game or a certain number of puzzles for the game. And so they'll come up with a concept that maybe naturally has like, 3 or 4 good puzzles in it. And then they kind of just have to put filler puzzles in the middle that are like super unsatisfying because you're just stating basic, you know, fact-finding things, right? And they're often presented as like this big revelation where it's like, no, that's, you all just said this. This isn't new information. How do you know this information? I kind of want to play Aviary Attorney again because I feel like there were a substantial number of like challenges and choices in that, in like a 3-hour game. And all of them are tricky. And then you just lose, because he sucks. Good luck with that. Hopefully we do keep swapping back to Gregory, because I think it's a cool way to structure this case. Must expose Von Karma's lies. I wonder how they're gonna, like, manage to have him fail but still kind of succeed. I feel like that's necessary for the story to be satisfying. Yes, please. Okay, we're back to the truly ridiculous stuff. Karma defeated us. Eh. How time flies. He wanted to be found guilty. Messed up. He really was the definition of a true detective. I do like the misdirect with Detective Bad. Rip Lacer. Oh wow. But he didn't actually lose. Only penalty in his 40 years of prosecution. Okay, I guess it's a weird way to still give him a bit of a win instead of just Von Karma totally getting away with it. No problem. Is he found guilty of being an accomplice? Nani? Or why they mentioned the salt thing. Gonna need you carrying that with you, Ray. And Edgeworth, carrying his thing with him. Okay, so are we doing another? The basic facts have been concealed so that the story can play out differently. Okay. I feel like whenever they have to do that, it's like super inelegant, right? They've had a couple of cases that were pretty elegant. I seem to recall there being a really good one in the first Miles Edgeworth game. Ace Attorney games feel like two kids, you know, playing cops and robbers. Be like, I shot you. Nuh-uh, I got super armor, right? Oh, that thing I said was true? It actually was a lie the whole time. Don't confess. Catherine Hall will be held under the same charges. Is this the way that they get out of Master having been executed for being found guilty 17 years ago? It's very convoluted. An orange or Uncle Ray's old notes. Okay. Take a look. Statute of limitations ran out 3 years ago. Received a lot of evidence. Okay. I forgot about the poison gas thing. That's so weird. They disguise the Autumn Palace as the Winter Palace. I guess their core idea was a puzzle where, like, the bottom parts of the Zodiac statues are ambiguous. Normalium and Fatalium. Objection, this kid. Like the sound effect they used for that. That was fast. Oh, is it finally the body has come back after all this time? That would be kind of fun.
Take that!
Isaac Dover. Somehow I feel a strong kinship to him. Really? Can't be. Are you trying to steal the best position for yourself? It's pretty good. Here's what they renamed all the characters. Sebastian de Best is really good.
Objection.
You again. Tim Courtney Pie is calling her Courtney Chun.
Duty.
Hold it. Okay. Appreciate it, Ray. Okay, she's been quiet for a while. Washing detergents, paints, and the like. Okay. Sounds good. Same T thing from before, right? Oh, it's none of my evidence anymore. Okay. T sets worth thousands of dollars. It's really tacky. Okay. Uh-oh. Forgot he's here. It's so tasty. it minty? Where have you been till now? Okay, photograph the sculptures. Because it made for a puzzle. Okay. I don't think I have anything else for her right now. Puddle of tea. I think have we seen that before? Maybe not. It's Pierre, right? Show this to that man and see what he has to say. Yeah, it's the sculptor guy. Characters get the idiot ball a lot. What's there to look at here? Spring is the moving season. They want her to be a great thief, but not a bad character at the same time. Sunflowers in front of the summer. Is every season a good season for robbing people? And pickpocketing is beneath you? It's funny. Place here is a red herring. I knew that. Tell me what you're hiding. talking to me right now? Hiding something? Larice? Oh, is it the... When you said that man, I think I've only ever heard him use the phrase that man to refer to Larry or Phoenix, right? Knowing what you're hiding is related to the T in this pottery shard. Hiding something? How can you be so cruel to your best friend? Broke the crazy expensive teapot. The butt strikes again. Uh-huh. As attached to Dover's works as she used to be. Larry switched the broken teapot with another teapot, so now is she gonna get really upset? She's holding back, but she's pissed. Larry exists to be a time waster, but at least it's not like... Well, there was a case in Miles Edgeworth 1 where Larry's participation really slowed things down and felt like... It's a sketch of beauties. Even I can't draw what I can't see. So why does it look like Delicia is panicking and cleaning fabric? "18 years ago, a set of these went missing." Do I have anything now? Pots were switched. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I can combine that right away. A broken teapot is much more shocking. Nani? Wait, what? You have an idea where it is? I do. I wonder about that. Now how to prepare the poison gas. Trophies, commemorating Isaac Dover's work. have new evidence now? Yeah, I got this. Where I can see the Alicia panicking and washing the blue cloth. Try talking to her. Still hoping it turns out that her face is fake and it's just made out of cream. Boy is only used when you're showing someone something. Yes, he is used to confirm and is also a greeting. Eep is used when you're afraid. Okay, clearly this is like challenging to localize. I don't have to talk to her yet. Real? No, I guess not. Body's been recovered. It's frozen. Call it goopy. Yeah, like the one that they had available to them, freezing. God. Sugar in the fountain water. Sculptures in the Winter Palace have melted. Liquid left in the cases. Sugars in the Taurus case are not the Gemini case. Salt? Sugar, salt, and blood. And the sugar found in the fountain matches that in the light blue liquid. Rainbow light device, I guess this is to remind you of the cloth. Okay. Give it deduce button this time. Not a single stain on this pure white tablecloth. The flowers are still standing. Making multiple comments about the color of the tablecloth. Okay. I think they want me to talk about this, right? Because it's blue in this picture. Yeah. Pretty obviously blue. Well, they should have gone with a more noticeable color like red. Because it could have just been an artist choice by Larry, right? Dude, you're always so busy thinking with just your head. You missed the obvious. I don't know if I would have gotten that one if they didn't mention the color of the cloth like 6 times. Pushing another service cart with the body underneath it. Would make sense if it was a mixture of Kate and Delicious, since we already established that they were working together in the Gregory Edgeworth case. I'll talk to Delicia about the fabric. Stop calling me Miley. So I gave to Katie as an apology for breaking the rules 18 years ago. Okay. Pretty funny, actually. I like Ray, he's a good character. I complain a lot about Ace Attorney, but there's good stuff in there. Oops. Is there a dirty rag in your bag that looks similar to this? One gain in knowledge required to set off poison gas. Are they gonna like Megatoxin X? They collaborate together. Like the collaboration in Gregory's case. It's really goofy that the Angel's recipe is the grand prize. It's like almost so silly as to undermine the entire case. They needed to make a connection between the cooking show and the pharmaceutical company, and they came up with like the weirdest, stupidest one. Cold Killer X. Only a small group of elite pharmacists have been allowed to see the book. Okay. That's funny. Is that so? Kind of like you were desperately trying to wash it. This was the cloth that went missing 18 years ago. Okay. Just taking her word for that though, because like the picture makes it really look like she's panicking and trying to like plant it. Is this the one called The Sketch of Beauties? I don't understand. I guess the joke is that Larry couldn't possibly find her attractive because she's fat. Okay. Why, yes. Only ever use tablecloths that are pure white. Kate's job. They melted a bit. Hmm. Too sweet for my taste, you say? So I must still be missing something here. Oh, that's good to hear. Oh yeah, they both had their kids. What? That's fucking important. Jesus God. I feel like 90% of Phoenix Wright games are undercut by just a basic dossier of information. Like, yeah, the guy that you're representing as your client is the son of, like, the pharmaceutical company mogul. Like, Discovery would destroy this. Driven out of the mansion by Master's relatives. Why'd she retire? Okay. So I have a new logic thing. Just these two together? I don't have anything else. Okay, that looks like that's correct, whatever it is. Okay. Oh, can I not? Take about 2 hours, though. I'll tell you every one of them while matching the melody. Okay. So clearly I'm missing something else in the area. Sculptures. Who wore the pants in that marriage? Interact with this thing. Like a body? Okay. Oh, right. So it's the same thing as the cart. Got it. And then the okay, yeah. How convenient. Alright, that's what I was missing. Hey, Serp, how you doing? Okay, so I'll probably do one more chapter here. These are taking about an hour each. We can switch to Doom. Can't be serious. Best to be the best at everything. Yeah. I guess if anyone knows a way to play the modern one starting from where I left off, but I don't want to play through 15 hours of game to play the official localization.
Objection!
Do you know what they are? Okay, Delicia, not at all suspicious. They did every name that wasn't already established. Let's see. Eustace Winner. It's pretty good. I like Sebastian de Best. Verdi Gavel. Okay. Eustace is a pretty good first name. Yeah. They do a lot of gags with the best. I guess earlier he said something about, he made a joke about the best, and then he said something about winners and losers. So is the Japanese closer to winner? The power of logic? Oh, turnabout. pun on first class. Okay. So they're both pretty solid takes on that. Okay. "18 years after Monsieur Master was arrested, I was finally able to buy back the mansion. Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery. Collected Pierre Hoquet's works from all over the world. After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery." Okay. Let me cross-examine, even though we're never in a courtroom in these games for some reason. I'm always playing a defense attorney, even though I'm a prosecutor. Oh, it's called Prosecutor's Path. You literally never prosecute. You just have the power of logic. Basic logic. Alright, that's enough of that. Yeah. It's kind of surprising to me. It's like, okay, we want to do a Miles Edgeworth game, but we don't really have an idea for what that would look like, so we'll just do another Phoenix Wright game. It's fine. There's some good stuff in it. I think overall I like these games better than the Phoenix Wright trilogy, but... yeah, exactly. Tell us about that in more detail? Okay, that's something I have to present on, obviously. Okay. Okay, so that must be the thing I have to push on. I'm actually not sure what they want from me here. Maybe this? I don't think this is really like saying anything substantial. I've got to help Bar to work with. A music cutout, it might be okay. Thanks, Delicia. Yeah, exactly. Call of Duty hit marker. Okay, well, that's not what I thought they were getting at, but all right. Ah, Nani. So I guess what they're saying is that the reason it's confusing to me is that, like, if her whole point is, yeah, I made replicas of the sculptures, and the liquid analysis is like, yeah, the sculptures are made of the same material. It's like, okay, well, she just got more sherbet. Like, we're saying that it's literally the same. Like, we have the magical forensic ability to say, like, this is physically the same liquid from 18 years ago. On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging. During the judging, at Monster Master's request, I went to change the film and the camera. Before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monster Dover's body. Monsieur Gregory arrived. I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation. It's then that I witnessed Monsieur Gustavia entering Monsieur Dover's room. Okay. Prove she stole the sculptures. She used the fake tea cart, basically. I think the lifting tea cart / trolley is a fun idea. I don't hate that. No. It's gonna prompt me to pick the spot each time. That's an interesting use of the press mechanic. No.
Hold it!
Eek. I forgot about that whole sneaking a bite of the ship thing. It's ridiculous. It's really hard to like separate. I feel like Phoenix Wright exists in the space between ridiculous brackets campy and ridiculous brackets stupid. And it's, to me, it's better when it's ridiculous campy, right? Like the parrot testifying is great. But sometimes it's just fucking stupid and it doesn't work for me at all. I don't think so, no. Okay, this is when she's using the cart. Like, I think having the angel recipe book with the cure for a disease that makes you unable to taste salt as the grand prize of a cooking competition is ridiculous bracket stupid, right? They're really trying to make the pharmaceutical connection. Saucer was chilled. Yes, that's when it happened. Sure did. Actually, in this case, like, the only reason I suspect anything is because I wasn't finished the investigation until I saw the trolley. This thing.
Take that!
Otherwise, I didn't even notice the trolley. It was just a thing that Ray was standing in front of. No ordinary service cart. It was the sculpture itself. She didn't. The trolley.
Take that!
Put a tablecloth over it. Everything on the top was cold. See, that, I think that is a clever, right? There's lots of little moments of cleverness in these games. They're just interspersed with like puzzles of obligation, I would call them. Yeah, that's cute. I like that one. That's good. And I think it's at its best when it's asking you to make at least one logical leap, right? You're not just like connecting to very basic facts that are trivial. Sometimes they fall into the trap where it's like the characters will say out loud what happened and then they still require you to do the logic connection. But you just said that. That's not new information. Yes, the body was moved. We got it. If I made like a design bible for a Phoenix Wright game, I would include as like rule number 1 is that anything the player has to do requires at least one leap of logic. Preferably not more than like 2 or 3, because it gets a little bit ridiculous in the later ones, but... And that would likely substantially shrink the game, because you can't come up with that many reasonable puzzles, right? Okay. Can't you arrest me for it? Perhaps you should read this book concerning the statute of limitations. I love the book art. It's just a clock and a cat running away. Suddenly there are rules in this legal system? What the fuck? Okay, if the suspect flees to or lives in a foreign country, the time limit is on hold until the suspect returns. One of these isn't a matter. If accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached, then resumes. Charges are pressed to demand compensation. Statute is frozen for the length of that procedure. Got it. So that's how it is. So cool.
Objection!
Probably. In the ice thing. A place that could store a body greatly shrinks the possibility space of what I could even present here reasonably, right? So it's either the lift trolley or it's this. And I just did the lift trolley, so it's probably this.
Take that!
Wait, really? Oh, is it the hood? That's clever. I like that, actually.
Take that!
That's pretty... I like that. That's good. Again, that one requires a small leap.
Objection!
Yeah, I think it's at its best when it's like something that it superficially appears one way is actually another way, right? So usually they rely on, like, you know, describing something that's coming from the left or the right, then pointing out the contradiction of, oh, from your perspective, you would have called that left, not right. That's a contradiction. It's like, oh, that's not good. The cloth.
Take that!
Overruled!
Objection!
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that before. I'm surprised they didn't require me to point that out. That's ridiculous.
Objection!
Overruled!
No need for that. Surprised we're just accepting that. I have Larry's sketch. Such a person exists. The evidence that person gave me. Yeah, she's pushing it. I was worried the music kept going for a second. Color of the tablecloth. No blue tablecloths exist in this mansion. Nope. Yeah, I do like the music in all these games. When they did the remaster, they didn't change the music, did they? Or they were melty. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if they change it to orchestral. Do clarify. Well, we already know it was removed from the fountain. So the only one that's interesting is Miss Hall has it with her. It's kind of funny. I want to see like a Metroid Brainia Epiphany puzzle game developer make a Phoenix Wright like game, right? But I think that it's always nice when something's been out in the open the whole time and you don't notice it. Oh, breakdown. Interesting. Even though, like, Gregory Edgeworth had an extremely compelling case that fucking Von Karma cheated and like got him a prosecutor's penalty, and then they have this like quick line of dialogue where it's like, yeah, he proved in court that Von Karma cheated and got him his first ever penalty, But then he was found guilty anyway. Whatever. Who cares? Right. Breakdowner. That's awful. Okay. Find the true culprit. I guess the argument that she's doing it in order to conceal her own theft of the sculptures. But we just established that she doesn't care about that because the statute of limitations ran out. Opens the Pisces case, believing it to be the Gemini case. Must be the true culprit.
Overruled.
Okay, so like, there's very few options for who it could be, right? I think as much as I want it to be Delicious Scones, the fact that they just said that she framed her with the megatoxin makes me suspect that they want me to select Dane. I still wouldn't be surprised if eventually it is Delicia. Yeah. Hesitation is defeat.
Take that!
Okay, bar went away. I guess that makes sense. She trapped it because one person would try to open it. Okay. Be like staining their hand, like if they pull the fire alarm. I just did it based on character economy. Okay. Okay, well, I was gonna look for a natural stopping point beginning at, like, within 1 minute from now. So far, none of these have been over an hour, so I will go ahead and continue. This seems like we're almost done with this case, and I'd rather leave my future self with the start of a brand new case instead of being in the middle of one.
Duty. Overruled!
No false evidence remains in the official case files, despite all of the false evidence that was added.
Objection!
Yeah, and he got a penalty for doing it in that case. And then it just didn't change the result because we needed it to not change the result for the story to make sense. Okay. I acknowledge that Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information about the body. However, he successfully convicted Mr. Master as an accomplice. I believe the true culprit was Miss Curator herself. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today in order to pin the blame on him. However, he was still successful for no reason. I feel like they were in like a character trap. It's like they needed Gregory Edgeworth to fail in order for this case to exist. But they needed to give him a small win so I didn't just completely waste his time. They had the little line about him getting a penalty for Von Karma. But then it was just inconsequential.
Hold it!
Why don't you reopen the case? The goddess of law does not err in her judgments.
Objection.
Hold it!
Through bullshit.
Overruled!
Detective Rip Lacer. Sure seem like the arch enemy of prosecutors. I barely know her.
Hold it!
Okay.
Hold it! Objection!
Okay. So present on whatever this is. We have ample evidence for both the IS-7 incident and today's poison gas incident. There's no need to investigate any further.
Hold it! Objection!
Okay. So on that step, got it. Don't know what it is though. Okay, this is the step I need to present on. Present the prosecutor's badge. Okay, there's nothing interesting there. Doesn't matter. Don't think there's anything here, but maybe there's another thing in the picture that we're missing. Gas burners used to heat something. Already fully examined this, I think. I don't think it's that. I am... kids are missing. This is the only thing that's like evidence. I don't know why I would select this one, but it's the only piece of evidence that requires more research, right? Everything else has already been really well established. This seems pretty open and shut. I'll try it. I got a health bar. Music cut out, are we okay? There goes the health bar, okay. I don't know why yet. Okay, I guess I see their point. Maybe? Just the corpse, though?
Overruled.
Good news, you guys. Mr. Gustavi's life was saved. Now we can question him. It's funny. Perfect timing. Nutty? Kind of bummed that he's been knocked out the entire time. I mean, I guess we got to talk to him a little bit as Gregory. Do not concern yourself with the dribble of a prosecutor without jurisdiction. Girl, I never have jurisdiction. In these games, we're never in a courtroom. I'm never doing prosecuting. I will not hold back my arguments. I think her trap was a cool idea. Isn't even a courtroom.
Objection.
You're willing to accept the words of this criminal as the truth? All victim to the poison gas. No matter how strange his behavior was, it won't prove he committed the murder. Okay. Savvy claims he has no motive, but he was fighting with Dover because they didn't collaborate on the last day. Yeah, that whole weird sentence from the end of the Gregory Edgeworth bit was like, what does this have to do with anything? Gustavia's goal to view the angel's recipe? On a film and the camera decreased. Someone's trying to take a picture of the angel's recipe. I feel like they're just giving me all of this in order. The first two definitely go together. Ownership turns sour. You know my secret.
Objection!
Hey Bucky, how you doing? Made in advance.
Objection.
Pretty good. Couldn't have killed Sir Dover while Sir Master was also there making his desserts. Okay. Well, here, obviously, he's using the camera to take a picture of the angel's recipe. And I'm guessing the last two things will combine. Mr. Dover didn't participate in the afternoon tea. Okay. Oh, there's our answer. Forgetting the guy's name was Jeff. Go. Finally starting to see the truth behind this case. This is where you use that, right? I feel like the word that has extreme weight in Japanese, or at least it gets localized that way. I don't really think we have an English word that means I'm referring to something that's ambiguous, but I'm like triple underlining the ambiguity for you. I guess if you say something like somebody, right, it would be with your tone in the word somebody, that you would be triple underlining the ambiguity. Logic chess. Oh wow, you got a lot of chess pieces. Tends to meditate when things aren't going his way. I usually like doing wait and see. Trying to meditate. Wake up! Okay, so we stall until he meditates and then go after him. It's telling me which one to select. It's not meditating yet. Yes, yes. Yeah, what happened to their kids? I think that's a really important piece of information that just came up randomly very recently. Trying to save your son's life from a horrible disease. The angel's recipe. He's meditating. Okay. I do like that essentially what logic chess is notice what their tick is, but the game does like tell you what their tick is. I wonder about that. You know the recipe book's true value, probably. Okay, that was incorrect. Too valuable to be sold. Okay, he's meditating. You must know about its true nature, that it was a book of exotic drugs available only to the most elite pharmacists. Ultimate recipe book. Now I can say this. You know what the recipes actually are. To become a pharmacist. All right, we're getting there. All right, called it. Yes, his son is sick. The name of the illness. How insensitive are you? Okay, need to get more clues. and a person was your son. He's not meditating. He still isn't meditating. Okay. Bore me with your empty threats. Because you have to go through the whole thing every time. Sun sounds pretty healthy to me. Okay. Wasn't life-threatening. Okay, so now I can say one of the other ones. Medicine sold everywhere now. I think I also need to press him when he's sweating, not just when he's meditating. It's another clue. He ate tasted flavorless. He's trying to remove his own taste disability. Okay, here we go. The illness wasn't life-threatening. Yeah, was he too fat? I know that because of Mr. Masters, who apparently was afflicted with it like during the competition, but before he had the chance to use his own recipe to fix it. I need the other loo. Didn't you also have the illness? If it's orange, I should always select it, I think. I'm a little nervous about the time here. This is a pretty long mission. Did you collaborate with him? Okay, I think that's it. Is that really the, like, ultimate contradiction? I mean, it feels like it's a trivial one, but okay. Yeah, I mean, that seems like that's the big exciting reveal. It is me. Checkmate. You failed logic chess. You got COVID. How do you know for sure that that specific cure was in the book? Like the entire point of the book is that the book has a bunch of secret recipes, secret medicines that no one knows about. Because if anyone knew about them, then the book wouldn't be valuable to sell the pharmaceutical. Whatever, it's fine. I wonder if one of their core ideas was, what if a pastry chef had an affliction that kept them from tasting, and that their motive was to get the cure for that, and so they had to do all this crazy shit in order to involve pharmacists and big pharmaceutical company. Okay. Sir Dover and I cooperated until the finals. I handled the flavor, he was in charge of the design. However, for the finals, I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skills. I helped Sir Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own. The flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, my own lack of training was to blame. Okay. Are we going to be able to get him on the statute of limitations because he's been out of the country? Is that why they bothered to mention that? Yeah. Flees to or lives in a foreign country. The time limit is on hold until the suspect returns.
Hold it!
Dover was a sculptor by trade. His sense of design was splendid. Amateur chef. That's new. Funny. Symbol of Young Fa.
Hold it!
Overruled.
You know, she's like always wrong.
Hold it.
It's gonna have to be this one.
Hold it.
There's some sort of accident during the finals? Is your intuition final making Mr. Dover's entry? Here's a good point. Well, it should also be a problem in the semifinals, right? Aside from not cooperating, the finals aren't much different from the semifinals.
Hold it.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Okay. Okay. So it's evident, it's old evidence, and it's on that line. Aside from not cooperating with Mr. Dover, the finals weren't much different from the semifinals. Okay. So what are we doing here? Statute limitations ran out. It's not helpful. Those aren't gonna matter. These don't matter. Shouldn't matter. It's the only piece of evidence from before. His son always came to visit up until the finals. Oh, that's pretty clever. So the idea is his son was helping him to taste, but he didn't help him to taste in the finals. Okay.
Objection.
Thank you, text description. They had to make the little phoenix so you see the kid eating. So I don't know what happened to your missing kids. I feel like it's not a substantive admission to say that his son helped him taste them, right? Like, seems reasonable. It's another, like, trivial lie versus a substantial lie. Tasted your desserts. He made your desserts for you. That would be pretty funny. That seems completely fine. Yes, that's the thing you just said like 3 minutes ago. That's a lot of ellipses. Hey, just like say that. That doesn't suggest guilt at all. I no longer have a son. During that time, I severed all ties with my son. Nani? Are they just trying to make him out into a bad guy at like the last fucking second? Because like, so far it seems like it's kind of a shitty situation for him. After regaining my sense of taste, my son no longer mattered. What the fuck? Talk about like having your villain kick the dog. This guy's too sympathetic. Hey, perfect timing. Thanks, Gumshoe. Oh, that's nice. They've got butts, drawing, sketching the whole thing. The best has really been like particularly useless in this one. Here's report first, at least. Interesting.
Overruled!
Salt and blood. Strings of the lyre. Oh, the rock salt lamp? Okay.
Take that!
I don't know where they're going with this. Just pick the thing that was salt. Just trying to frame her. Okay. Is that easy to mix the lamp in there? Yeah, but we gotta get him on the statute of limitations still, right? Dover and I work together in order to win the contest. Yeah, it's very odd to say, like, yeah, he has a medical condition, so his son helped him, and be like, that's shameful. Like, what? This is taste testing. It's not really that big of a deal. It's so fucking weird. These two little kids are just gone. They're just like, whatever. Cure for taste disorders. Oh. Ah, it sucks, Leon. I just feel like it's weird that it even affects his pride at all, right? Like, it would be like someone saying that, you know, they broke their leg and their son is like helping them walk, and it's like a hurt to their pride. Their leg is broken. I don't think it's just like a toxic mental health thing. I think this specific case of I'm a pastry chef and I lost my sense of taste. So, you know, I still make my delicious pastries and my son says, yeah, that tastes good. To be like ashamed of that is like alien to me. I can't even like wrap my head around it at all. Yeah, gave him his just desserts. That's really good. People often spell that. It should be just deserts. But if you do it as an intentional pun, then it's fine. Frame them. I'm not gonna get my suspicion that Delicia is like has a cream exterior, but she looks the same across the years. Well, he ended up disguising it as a sculpture. Tell us the truth. I wonder that didn't cost me any points. Mwahahaha. Still waiting for him to bring up statute of limitations. Don't you feel anything at all? Nope. I really do like the design on this book. The little cat. It's like a cat, a clock, and handcuffs. Why you can't arrest me? Nope, we got this under control. He already said he was in junk fob training. Well, I mean, the verdict of the trial can be overturned. We may not be able to put him in jail, but, like, we have conclusive evidence that there's an innocent man in jail. Yeah. No, there definitely is.
Hold it!
It's really frustrating. Just happened recently with the person on death row got executed despite everybody trying to appeal it, including the prosecutor. I think it's about to happen again in Texas. I was just reading about this yesterday.
Objection!
Yes. Training in junk file. Hey, idiot.
Objection!
exactly 3 years. Of course. I'm sure of it. There's something about the specific month, yeah, because Ray mentioned that earlier, December versus April.
Objection.
What's that? Okay. Oh, is that from his notes he gave me? I've been waiting for this to come up. Is it based on when the trial was completed? So that's what they want me to do, but... Okay. Accomplices are on trial. The countdown to stop until the verdict is reached, then resumes. Yes. No, you don't. Overruled. Yeah, I assume it's this. I'm just going to select it to see. I guess they're pointing out the fact that the case he counts as an accomplice. That is the thing I want to look at. Is it because he made the dessert? He's already convicted as an accomplice. So it's because they changed it to accomplice? Okay. I still think them changing it to accomplice is a thing that they just kind of like quickly hand waved off screen, but If we accept that that makes sense, which it doesn't, but if we pretend like it makes sense, then it's a reasonable thing to point out here. Yeah, I wish they hadn't have pulled that bullshit where Edgeworth is like, yeah, I know he was found guilty and executed, and Ray Shields is like, oh, actually, Von Karma was just fucking with you. Actually, I have the real report here. No, you shot me. No, I've got super armor, right? Like, they did it to build unnecessary drama at the beginning. Final breakdown.
Objection.
I was reading about how Phoenix Wright is super inspired by Columbo. It would be nice if they more exclusively went after like the rich and powerful, like Columbo. Yeah. He earlier mentioned, oh, I stayed here for a year, and then I went to China for 3 years, and then I came back. They managed to cover for that, but it was very contrived. Yeah, exactly. It's fine to try to introduce a second puzzle there, I think, but... Here we go! What the fuck? It's pretty great. That's what the last 4 hours have been for. That was a pretty good breakdown, though. I think the lady whose coat runs away from her is probably my favorite that I've seen in all of the games so far. That was in, I think it was in this game. It was an Edgeworth game. Yeah. Happy breakdown. I don't think we'll have any time for Doom today, but I'm glad I pushed through. There's still the matter of the missing children. Imagine that's going to come up later in the game. I don't know how. Yeah, no shit. Yes, you do, actually. Oh, he's not a prosecutor. He's not. He has no jurisdiction in any of these games. That's what's funny about the series. They make a spin-off game about the prosecutor that he always plays a defense attorney. The game's called Prosecutor's Path. I know, right? It's extremely stupid. He's always just like doing independent investigation. He just happens to be in the area. Yeah.
Duty.
Yeah, they hold like mock trials where the judge proclaims people not guilty, but it's not in a court. You're never in a courtroom in these games, ever. Yeah, their idea of like, okay, what makes Edgeworth different from Phoenix Wright is like, okay, he has the power of logic, which is actually kind of a cool system. I do like the logic. Yeah, even though they're often very trivial, there's occasionally a couple of them that are interesting. But they didn't go like, okay, well, he's a prosecutor, so what would a prosecutor game be like? I guess it's a problem in Phoenix Wright as well, that like in order to be a defense attorney, you have to essentially be a prosecutor and like conclusively prove who actually did it, right? Beyond a reasonable doubt. I think it would be interesting to try to make a defense attorney game where you literally are just trying to do reasonable doubt. Get somebody off on a technicality, right? Maybe even have guilty clients. It sounds like that Judgment game, the Yakuza spinoff, is maybe somewhere in that direction. Yeah. If you let the wrong person get arrested, you've already failed because they won't find the truth in court. Because court is so corrupt. Yeah, it's sort of like a weird, the logic works its way backwards so that you can't be a prosecutor in court, because if you're a prosecutor in court, you're necessarily just going to win automatically because of the 99% conviction rate or whatever, right? So there's not anything interesting for you to uncover because of how corrupt the Japanese justice system is, right? Yeah. It's an interesting like narrative trap to be in if you're trying to make a game like this. But it's one of those interesting things. It's sort of like the issue in Persona where like when they're imagining in the Persona 5 Royal DLC stuff where you're like in this perfect reality, and the perfect reality is just slightly nicer world where everyone still has jobs, right? Like the status quo is exactly the same. In fact, perfect reality is just nothing has changed from the status quo from the beginning of Persona 5, right? Where it's this failure of imagination, where, and I think there's a similar thing happening here where it's like you could, because you're the god of your story, you could say, oh, after Phoenix Wright proved all of these cases that the prosecutor was wrong, you know, the system changed, and so Miles Edgeworth is now a prosecutor who's trying to do the right thing, and you can make a game about him being a prosecutor and maybe occasionally he realizes he has the wrong person, right? But they can't like get away from that status quo, like, no, the justice system's corrupt. So in order to make a Miles Edgeworth game, he still has to functionally be a defense attorney. It's like a failure to imagine a different, not even a better world, but just a different world, right? Although he's still allowed to wear that in prison for 18 years. You liked the chocolates earlier.
Take that!
The U.S. justice system is insanely corrupt, but like the Japanese justice system is on another level, as I'm sure Six Gun can attest. Like, yeah, in Law and Order, the defense attorneys are at best morally bankrupt, and at worst total sleazebags because the prosecutors are the protagonists. It's really interesting. I watched that video essay that was talking about how the show that Law and Order was inspired by actually would switch between whether it was featuring the prosecutor or the defense attorney. Effective bad. Yeah, the plea deal problem has become a huge problem. Everything gets a plea deal. Everybody agrees to plea deals. Good luck with that. Contradiction in the law. Hey, I'm glad they're saying this. This is nice. Hey, well, I'm waking up for a second. I feel like they've really struggled to point this out, and I feel like it's a thesis that should be underpinning all of Phoenix Wright, right? But all of Phoenix Wright up to this point has almost been suggesting that no. Phoenix Wright just happens to be getting the clients who happen to be innocent, right? I mean, they'll say stuff like, you know, Von Karma is corrupt, but again, it's like, no. See, Von Karma's corrupt. Miles Edgeworth isn't corrupt. He's a good guy, right? So to actually say, no, there's a problem with the way things work. I think this is the first time I've seen them say this in the series, and I'm very pleased. And it's nice for them to not have a nice, like, bow at the end to tie it up. Yeah, that's good. Okay, you've got... I was actually preparing at the end to say I really didn't like this case. I thought it was kind of lame Like, the thing that I enjoyed about this case was switching back and forth between Gregory Edgeworth and Miles Edgeworth. I thought that was a really cool conceit, but I think it was mostly wasted on the case because the case wasn't interesting enough to like justify it, and they had to do a bunch of bullshit like having Ray Shield say, "Oh, Von Karma lied to you about the outcome of the case the whole time," right? They had to like hand wave a lot of things. But if they're building to the rest of the game is going to be about this, then I'm very pleased, and it's actually pretty good. That's cool. That makes me more excited for Apollo Justice then. Yeah, I have to wonder if just like working on these games and having to do research for the games makes you eventually go, wait a minute, this is fucked up. The system's kind of broken, y'all. I like them bringing back, because they love to just highlight the word contradiction as though it's such an important thing. So then to bring up, no, there's a contradiction in the law that's like, kind of gave me chills. It's really good. It shouldn't, it's like such a trivial observation, but for Phoenix Wright to make that observation feels huge. Yeah, right. That's nice. I'm actually completely fine with the weird contrivance of the accomplice thing, if it allowed them to introduce that idea. If they have to go out of their way to include that so they could say there's a contradiction in the law, I think that's really good, actually. Forgotten turnabout. Okay. Perfect timing. Future March said you're starting a brand new case, so I shouldn't have to leave too many notes for you. Read the text file. There's stuff in there from previous cases. Yeah, you should be good.